Welcome to our channel. Listening to stories helps you learn new words and hear natural pronunciation. It trains your ears to recognize English. Let's begin.
Lena had always dreamed of traveling, but never had the chance. One evening, while scrolling online, she saw a contest, win a trip to Italy. She entered without expecting much. A week later, an email arrived. She read it twice. She had won. She would travel to Rome for free. Her heart raced with excitement, but soon nervousness crept in. She had never traveled alone before. Would she be able to manage everything? She took a deep breath. This was her chance for an adventure. Lena started planning right away. She made a list of everything she needed: clothes, a passport, a camera, and a small Italian phrasebook. She also researched places to visit: the Colosseum, the Vatican, and the Trevi Fountain. Packing her suitcase, she felt butterflies in her stomach. "This is really happening," she whispered to herself. The night before her flight, she barely slept. Her mind was full of excitement and a little bit of fear. The next morning, Lena arrived at the airport early. She checked in, passed security, and found her gate. Everything felt new and exciting. When she finally boarded the plane, she chose a window seat. As the plane took off, she watched the city below shrink. Soon, there were only clouds outside. A friendly flight attendant smiled at her and offered a meal. She ate while imagining all the adventures ahead. After a long flight, the pilot announced, "Welcome to Rome." Lena's heart pounded as the plane landed. Stepping out of the airport, she was greeted by warm sunlight and the smell of coffee. Rome was alive. Cars honked, people laughed, and street musicians played beautiful music. She took a deep breath. "I'm really here," she said, smiling. Lena took a taxi to her hotel, a small family-run place near the city center. The owner, an old woman named Maria, greeted her warmly. "Welcome," Maria said, handing her a key. The room was small but cozy, with a balcony that overlooked the bustling streets of Rome. Lena dropped her bags and stepped outside. She wanted to explore right away. Lena walked through the narrow streets, amazed by the old buildings and beautiful fountains. She bought a slice of pizza from a small shop, the smell of fresh basil filling the air. Every corner had something interesting: a statue, a street artist, or a charming cafe. She felt like she had stepped into a postcard. The next morning, Lena woke up early to visit the Colosseum. When she arrived, she was amazed by its size. It was over 2,000 years old. As she entered, she imagined gladiators fighting in front of thousands of spectators. She listened to a guide explain its history. Standing inside, she felt like she had traveled back in time. Later, Lena visited the Trevi Fountain. She had read that if you throw a coin into the fountain, you will return to Rome one day. She smiled, took a coin, and tossed it over her shoulder into the water. The sound of coins splashing and the sight of sparkling water made her feel lucky. After visiting the Trevi Fountain, Lena decided to explore without a map. She walked through hidden alleys and quiet squares. Everything was beautiful, but after an hour, she realized she didn't know where she was. She had no internet on her phone. She took a deep breath and decided to ask for help. Lena stopped at a cafe and asked an old man, "Excuse me, do you speak English?" The man smiled and nodded. "A little," he said. She showed him the name of her hotel. He pointed in the right direction and even taught her an Italian phrase, "Dove si trova," which means "where is it?" She thanked him and continued her journey. On her way back, Lena stumbled upon a small street market. The stalls were filled with fresh fruits, colorful scarves, and handmade jewelry. She bought a little Venetian mask as a souvenir. The shop owner gave her a free postcard and said, "For good luck." Lena felt welcomed by the kindness of strangers. That evening, Lena went to a small family restaurant. She ordered pasta carbonara, a famous Roman dish. The chef, an elderly man, brought her the plate himself. "Eat like a Roman," he said with a wink. The pasta was creamy and full of flavor. It was the best meal she had ever had. The next morning, Lena visited Vatican City. She was amazed by St. Peter's Basilica and the breathtaking ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Looking at Michelangelo's famous paintings, she felt inspired. The beauty and history of the place left her speechless. On her final day, Lena walked through the city one last time. She sat at a cafe, drinking an espresso, and watched the world go by. Rome had given her so many memories. She looked at her postcard and thought about the words, for good luck. Maybe she would return one day. At the airport, Lena felt different. She had started this trip feeling nervous, but now she felt confident. She had learned new words, made small connections with people, and experienced a new culture. As the plane took off, she smiled. This was just the beginning of her travel adventures.
Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed Lena's adventure in Rome. Now take some time to translate and study the new words from the story. This will help you improve your English and remember new vocabulary.